Alright, here we go. It is hot. My tits are sweating.
Again, you can edit that out.
No, I'm gonna leave
Put
that
cornstarch underneath them.
Cornstarch.
Ladies.
Sorry.
They also sell the gold bar.
Cornstarch?
Yeah, and baby powder, right?
No,
Baby
baby
powder, not
powder.
powder.
But that's what I be using.
Oh yeah, okay, here we go.
Oh, that's what I
Oh my god.
Welcome back to another episode of Showtime Radio Podcast. I am your host.
One more again. I just want to say it wasn't me this time.
One more again. Okay, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Showtime Radio Podcast. I am your host, Showtime, also known as Jenna. And before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click that notification button so you know when I drop a video. And what? Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to do what? Pull up, pour up, any drink of your choice. And tune in as we dive into these hot topics. Today we are honoring
Motherhood.
Why don't we start this way and say how many kids that we all have, so you can start.
I have 3, 2 boys and a daughter.
There we go. There we go.
I have 2. 1 boy, 1 girl.
Okay.
She was thinking like she had a litter.
I have one princess.
I have 2, typically 3 kids. Go ahead.
I have 5. I went for a whole hand. 4 girls, 1 boy.
I have blended children, 5.
And I have 3, 1 angel baby and 2 sons.
All right. I want to get into. I just had a brain fart actually.
Read the card.
It's too early. No, this is a different thing.
Oh, sorry.
Don't jump ahead. Oh my God. No, I'm just
Sorry.
kidding.
It's
Oh, no.
I'm your mother. I get to do it.
I want to talk about because you can plan for how to swaddle a baby. You can plan for how to change a
You
baby.
scared me for
What?
that.
Heard something. Thank you.
We'll get
Thank
into
you.
swallowing later. No, I'm just kidding. I did. That's true. I mean, we're tying into everything mothers. I mean, and that plays into a part. Okay.
Oh, please stop.
Delaying the baby. Okay, anyways. Okay. Before my mom's ears bleed. So you can prepare for how to swaddle a baby. You can prepare for how to change a baby, feed a baby. But let's talk about what you can't prepare for, like the mother guilt and the shame and the exhaustion and all of that, because that is there's no preparation for that. So would anybody like to start with that?
I'll start.
Oh, go ahead now.
I think that what you can't prepare for is how those things impact you, and then how you act from that impact, and realizing that you don't want your child to get stressed out and act how you act. So it's how it all impacts you, I guess, and then growing from that. Because I think having a kid will show you the places that you still need to work on, and the places that you might have struggled in the past that weren't such a big deal because you didn't have anyone else counting on you or depending on you.
Yeah.
But now because you have that thing counting on you or depending on you, it's time to kick it up a notch.
Yeah. I agree.
I would say that just because you asked the question, the first thing I thought of was, why aren't we preparing? Like as women, we have the Lamaze classes, we have the how to take care of the baby classes, like you said, diapers and everything. And it just hit me how sad it is that we don't have like places for us women to go to encourage each other about what is coming. Like, okay, when mama guilt hits, you need that community, you need that support to know that every mama feels that way.
Yeah.
No matter how well they're doing, we all have mom guilt. Like, that's like something that I feel like needs to be something that's created, the opportunity for women to have a space when they're moms and preparing for this baby to know, okay, yes, you're not gonna, something's gonna go wrong, or yes, you're gonna do your best, but then you're still gonna wake up feeling like you didn't do. Like, we need a better support system than just how do you put a diaper on.
Yeah.
And that's really sad that we don't have that, and we dealing with so many women with postpartum right now. And I'm not saying it will go away, but I'm saying if we were more forthcoming with that kind of information and encouraging, instead of just talking about, oh my gosh, you're the baby, but preparing the moms for what the journey is, because it's a hard journey.
Yeah.
It's a really hard journey, and everybody has mom guilt, and it's sad because we're so ashamed that we have it that we're not talking about it, but we should talk about it so that we can help new mamas know that they're okay.
Yeah.
Right. I want to jump in. I think we get so into, I'm having a baby, let's get this baby shower
Yeah.
together. You know what I mean? wondering where we're going to get all these supplies from, and we know that family, friends are going to, you know, help us get this. But in the back of our minds, it's like, oh, I'm so used to sleeping all day. I can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? I remember me with Levins, I'm crying. I wasn't working, but I'm up crying because my mom's like, oh, don't forget to give him that 11 o'clock bottle, that 12 o'clock bottle, that 1 in the morning bottle. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sleepy, you know? But it's like they never prepared like us to, this is what you do. We were so into baby shower, pretty things, you know, all the nice things, but get rest. You know what I mean? When the baby sleeps, you sleep.
Yeah.
You're catching up on your sleep. So me, I was cleaning the house as he was sleeping.
Yeah.
Then he would wake up and I would have to stop. I'm tired, My mom would always say, you sleep when the baby sleeps. I think I was telling Jenna, you two go to sleep. Baby sleep, you take a sleep. You go to sleep. You know, you take a nap. You take a nap. So it's draining. And I thought that I was going to have the postpartum with Levins. And Dad was like, well, you don't have a job. What are you crying for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think he understood.
No.
Then I had to sit back and go, well, yeah, he's right. I don't have to get up and go to work and do that. But I just stayed up. I watched Ricky Lake all night, you know. Watch Ricky Lake all night.
You have to find sanity.
You have to, and just, you know, and I did utilize what my mom said, when the baby sleeps, you sleep. Stop and think. Don't rush doing things, but just, even if you have to go in the bathroom for a little bit. You know, I had it lucky. My mom lived downstairs. I was upstairs. So I had that, you know, that support where, oh, can you take him for a little while? I'm going to go take a nap. You know what I mean? But it's a lot.
Like,
I felt
go
that.
knock on Puma's door. I feel like, go down the hall, see what Puma's doing.
Hey, it's a lollipop.
Yeah.
But it's so stressful, and I don't think young mothers are prepared if you don't have that support, or especially if you're in a different town from your parents or a different state or something. It's just you and, you know, the dad or whatever. It's so much, you know, so much.
Yeah.
Can I say something to somebody? She said 2 things. One, you had a job that was more work than the jobs they pay you for, and that's the problem we have as mothers. I don't care if you go to work and come home. I don't care if you're at home every day. Like when COVID hit, I was saying this to Jenna the other day, I laughed at all the people that had to be home with children, because I got so sick of people being like, well, you get to be home, like you're home with your kids. Are you kidding me? When it's lunchtime, you go to lunch with your friends and talk and sit there and you go to the bathroom by yourself. I've never peed by myself until they got grown. Like, what are you talking about?
Even when we were grown.
Yeah, they sit on, okay, they got off my lap when they were old enough, and then they would sit on the sink. Like, that's the problem. Like, we've minimized the fact that the job that a mother is doing is so much work. It's so exhausting. It's so draining. And yet, and still, it's equated to something that's 9 to 5. That you get time for a break. You can call out if you get sick. If I'm sick, I'm up with that baby. You're not good. If you get sick, you in the bed.
Yep, there's no vacation.
There's no vacation. So, like, we always, like, it just infuriates me, as you can see, because it's always like, oh, well, then you know, you're not working. Yeah, no, I'm working more than you, because when you come home now, you need a rest from work. I need a rest. What you talking about? And the whole, like, you know, to the part about sleeping when the baby sleeps, like, the mama guilt kicks in and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't cleaned, I haven't done laundry, I haven't done this. No, we are surviving the moment, like, especially in this country, because in other countries, the mothers are not allowed to do anything at all except for feed that baby for the first 30 days, because they're healing their bodies mentally and emotionally. And honestly, we're not at 100% for our children, so now we have more mother's guilt because we're exhausted. Because the respect for mothers is dwindling in America. Is dwindling. Like, there should be help with that. You know what I mean? It's 24 hours, like you said, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It's a 24-hour job. And when you do finally get to sleep, that joker wakes up.
In France and Canada, you go home with a nanny.
See?
I like this. We like
We're
that.
moving to Canada.
We like that. We're all packing up and going to Canada.
What side
You
should we
say
go
that,
to?
but you don't mean it. Right.
Type in where we should move that's safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comment down below.
Comment down below where is the best, prettiest place to move.
Mine,
I think one thing I heard.
Mine's
sorry,
oh,
Nana,
I'm
you
sorry.
can go.
Mine is a little different. I feel that when a woman gets pregnant, whether she's a woman or a young girl, I think that we should have more support for them, instead of making them feel guilty, whatever the situation is, they're still a mom.
Yeah.
They're still pregnant. They're still gonna have a baby. Whether it's young woman or an older woman, the support is not there. When someone says they're expecting or pregnant, we have to understand as many babies that are born, because I know I lost 4 myself, that many women are losing as well. So let's celebrate them. Don't put them down. Don't belittle them. Don't, oh really? Why? How come? We already know that. Why are we going to bring that to a face? Let's get out there and support, especially the older women to the younger women. I feel like we need more encouragement from the older women. Come on now. We've been there, done that. We're to the age now. I know I had my first child because I chose to have him. It wasn't an accident. I chose to have my son. So therefore, no one could say to me, oh, what did you do? I know what I did. I was there. I know what I did.
I made that choice.
I made that choice. So let's stop putting our girls down.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do to help them, to raise them up. Because my children, having out of wedlock, are a blessing. What they're doing now, I could never have imagined. I just thank God where they are now. But let's put our girls up. Don't belittle them when they come, because many women out here are losing babies left and right. Many women can't even have a child.
Right.
Come on now. We got to do better than what we're doing.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I seen a video from a TV show, I think, and it was just a mom had found out her daughter was pregnant on the couch, and she was a teenager, like a late teenager. And
I'm sorry, but this outfit gives me like you have a Chanel carriage.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like her when I grow up.
It's the leather.
It's the leather.
Carriage is leather.
Yeah, and the Gucci baby bottles, right?
She just pushes a button and just collapses and gets in the trunk.
Gets in the trunk by
puts
itself.
the baby in the car.
Sorry.
But she basically was saying like, I want you to know, not it's sad, but you have to kind of say goodbye to the person that you were. You're never going to be that person again.
True.
And when I heard that, it really resonated with me, because I felt for so long, what the heck is wrong with me? What the heck is wrong with me? But it's not what is wrong with me. I have to find the new me. I am not at all,
Awesome.
close to
Awesome.
the same person that I was. And then I am in a situation where I am kind of far from my family. I'm even kind of far from you guys. So I'm just there, and I got a day in and day out. It's just there, and we're keeping going, and we're doing it, but it's still finding that new version of yourself after having a kid, or even after just being pregnant. If it is a loss, you're never that again. You have to really find that, and I guess give yourself the grace and the time to be able to do that and be patient, because it doesn't happen in a year. You're pregnant for 9 months. It probably takes 18 months to get back to
just some
feeling.
sanity.
It's okay. Yeah.
Dip a toe in.
Yeah.
They say this girl, and I don't know what she's on TikTok, one of those, whatever. But she has this thing because she found out that I think it's flamingos. They lose their color while they're raising their young, and they don't get back the brightness of their pink until their children are off of needing help. And that's so she has a thing that about, like, she has shirts or whatever. I don't know who she is, if you know, put her in that. But anyway, but I was like, wow, like nature has just such a different level of respect and understanding of what's happening, because you lose, you have to figure out who you are now. And unfortunately for moms, because we haven't had that support, instead of doing that as we're raising our children, we wait until our children are grown up and then become devastated that we're like at this place of like, well, what do I do with this life? Because this entire life has only been about these kids, and now I don't. When it is that we have changed or we have evolved in a certain way, that we should be learning that on that process, finding our way back to the fullness of our pink, and not waiting until it's over. But that was my 2 cents.
I was gonna say something, but it was very inappropriate. You said the fullness of your pink.
Naughty. No, it's naughty.
Oh, yeah. That's very naughty.
Janelle, like,
Now I'll go while you sip. I'll go.
Janelle sip.
I love Janelle's pink.
I was gonna say.
Now I can't even think about that appropriately. Jesus.
What, the fullness of your pink?
She said I love Janelle's pink.
Okay, you all.
I mean, just like
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
I know. It's me.
They can't help
I'm the problem.
Whatever.
We're the
I am a mom, so that means.
I don't know. What does that mean?
Wait, hold on.
Nothing.
I'm trying to say something. I was like, I
Go
don't
ahead.
Sorry.
You know, I think
you're
every
fine,
episode you have.
I have that moment,
You
yeah.
need to make a clip of all
I
the
should
times
make
you
a
said
compilation
trying to
of
say
it.
something.
But you said, I'm trying to say something. I know, it's fun. We women, you just get in, it's like double dutch. You just try to get in there, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
No,
No.
I watch.
I was a coach. I had my
Well, then
own
coach
team.
me.
I had my own
Yeah,
team.
because
We
she
went
knows how
to,
to, but I don't. She don't.
Oh my
You're
God,
kidding
we used
me.
to double dutch with what?
Whatever. So you.
I
can
know
go with
that.
that.
Yeah.
Y'all never
No
done
shade.
that.
No,
Wait,
I
don't believe
I can never jump in.
I'm waving the
Let's go back to the topic at hand.
I gotta start in the ropes.
Wait, let's
We
talk
cannot
about this
talk
after
about
the fact,
this.
guys.
Afterwards.
What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say.
We're talking about.
Oh, remembering that you're human. I was talking
Yeah.
to one of my friends.
You're not a human.
No. Not after becoming a mom.
Why are you messing her up?
Mines aren't human.
No.
I can't.
We
Go
don't
on.
have to be super.
Go.
I just
go
Thank
on.
you.
Go
I'm
on.
just
I'm sorry.
trying.
You're super.
I'm just trying to say something.
Go ahead. All my life.
All my life, I was trying to talk. But no, like, remembering that you are human, remembering that, some days, not having the guilt of waking up some days and being like, I don't want to be a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like being a mom today. And it's not that you don't love your children. It's not that you aren't honored to have this role as mother. It's just that it's a lot for a human being to be responsible for another or multiple human beings,
Yeah.
And so giving yourself is what I'm learning, that grace of like, yo, this is how I feel today, and I'm not gonna have no shame or guilt or resentment for how I feel, because at the end of the day, I'm still a human being. I still was just a regular human before these kids came along.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I love my children any less. It's just, just being honest with myself of where I am, because motherhood is not easy. And I feel like women aren't allowed to really portray the fact that it's not easy. We're not allowed to show any sweat. We're not allowed to complain about being a mom, because then like
you're
going
a
back
bad
to
mom.
you're a bad mom, or
Yeah.
you lay down and
You
spread
do
your
that.
legs.
That's
So
your
it's
problem.
like
Deal with it.
but it's still at the end of the day, well, he laid down and rested,
Hello.
but
Right.
he gets to either walk away completely
Right.
Go
or
play some
just
ball.
you want to jump in when he wants to jump in. But why can't I express the fact that, hey, I'm just having a moment where I feel like I don't want to do this, but yeah, I still get up and do it.
Yeah.
Give me that bit of allowing to express the fact that it's just not in me, but I'm going to find something in me to do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Acknowledge
something.
it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Acknowledge
Can I
it.
comment?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say we have to realize that our men, when they're having raised, they were taught that as long as they have a job, 9 to 5, whatever, and they bring home the money, that they've done their job. So their outlook on men are not that, and I'm not saying the men now, because the mothers now are trying to teach their sons differently. Before it wasn't like that. It was like as long as they had a good job, came home, paid the bills, and did their due, whatever, they were men. And that's what they were taught. So men it wasn't like that. That's why they could have a child with you. Long as they're paying your bills at home, then you is no big deal.
What's the problem?
That's how it was.
Oh,
Problem is-
no,
The
honey
problem
boo.
is,
Not today.
No,
Not
honey
now.
boo, because let me tell you
Yes.
something. Your son is a good good man because I would sleep.
Good job.
He would let me sleep.
She gonna cry.
Yeah. he would
got that
let
from
me
me.
sleep. He would let me sleep while they were. He still lets me sleep because he's on the outside. And if he looked over and saw I was sleeping and the kids was up from being a newborn to now, he'd get up and change up. He would get up and feed them. Where they do that at? I don't know.
Everybody doesn't do that.
They don't do that.
Everybody
He still
doesn't do
changes
that.
diapers to this
Men
day.
don't-
He allows,
sorry.
like, you
I'm
know, if
sorry.
I need to get
But
out,
they
he
don't.
allows me to get out.
But they
Like,
don't.
Yeah.
so props to you, boo.
I don't know.
It's still Mother's Day month, so.
Yeah.
We
But
can bring it back around to the mothers because it takes a good mother
Mother.
to cultivate such
Right.
love and to cultivate such understanding with a son, to teach them that patience and teach them that you are still a man even when you do these things.
Right.
And I think that does show back on how they were raised, and it
Yeah.
really does make a difference.
It does.
Yeah.
It
Lord.
does.
Does.
I
It
get
makes
a
a
lot,
big
like,
difference.
you know, for me, I'm American, my husband's Haitian, and then I get a lot of, you know, he was raised by his stepmom and the sisters, you know, so it was the sisters and the stepmom that took care of the
Yes.
brothers, you know, and
And it showed them.
and that's how it was, but that's how it was with us too. You know, our aunts and our uncles and our moms taught us how to make a bed and how to maintain a home and how to, you know, this is what you do as a woman, you know, but times have changed.
Amen.
Times have changed, and it's like, and it brings me to the thing that I saw on YouTube where, you know, our men are going to these other countries and getting these women because we're not treating them like kings.
Yeah.
We're tired. We
Yeah.
we do 80% so that they can put in their 20%, but we're doing that because that's our nature. That's what we do. So if they're not liking it because we're independent, you know what I mean? We're not saying we don't need you, because we do need you.
Yeah.
We just, you know, we're gonna get up. That's our nature, is for us to get up and move, get up and do, get up and do, get up and do. You know what I mean? Because it'll be times I'll come home like, I wonder if anybody cooked. You know, that anybody is me. You know, I'm not home, but you know, once in a while it'll be like, you know, food's here, don't touch until mom gets home. You know, those things I appreciate. I do appreciate stuff, but I think for me, I'm just that go-getter. You know what I mean? I want to have it done before. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to leave me, go to the next. I'm like, she never did nothing. She didn't do nothing. You know, we're doing it, and we're gonna continue to do it. So
People go to other countries to find these wives and stuff like that, but
Men,
these
you
wives,
mean men.
yes,
Because we ain't doing that.
men.
Right, we're
But
not.
then again, they're going to countries where women don't have to work. Women don't have to, you know, worry about that providing, worry about their bills being paid, worry about this, worry about that. If we didn't have to worry about all these things, I would be much kinder, much more submissive, you know, much more, you know, feeling,
right,
you know, you would get a
right.
lot more, but when you got to work full time, 9 to
You're
5,
spreading so thin.
it's so hard to feel
Sexy.
energetic, you know,
Sexy,
like
energetic, submissive.
all the things.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to have to get up and go every single day and then just be for a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they say that they're traditional. I believe we're all traditional women, right? We're all traditional. We all come from a traditional family, you know, versus us. We're at 21, we're on our own. Our parents like, get out. You know, we're on our own. With them, you're traditional, but you're still at home. You still need permission to go on a date. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's because our passport bros like that. They still want control. You know, I want to go be maybe one of these
I think that's
traditional women, because if her dad is, if she still has to ask her dad if she can go on a date. If I
Then
bring her
she
back
has to
here,
ask
then she's
me.
gonna have to ask me.
Yeah.
All right, yep, stamp that passport. See ya, bye. You know, it's. I mean, it's like, and then they tell us we're not treating our men as kings, but if that's what you're missing, they're missing something.
Yeah.
You're missing something. Either you really want to get here, or you just tired of asking your father if you can go on a date and you have a curfew. But they fail to realize is that it's going to continue here if you're brought here. But I say, you get here, you're going to see how free we are, how independent we are, and you're going to be just like us, coming to America.
Absolutely. I seen it with my eyes.
I see it with my eyes.
I seen it with my eyes.
What you talking
Jump
about?
in, girl. Jump.
I was
Jump
just
in.
gonna say back to the mom guilt, because I'm at a different stage as a mom now. My sons are about to be 22 and 19, and now they're not in my home where you don't have that environment again. So now you're guilty, like, well, did I do everything I was supposed to do? Because now I have to start all over and think about me and my own decisions. Did I do the right thing? Because now they're on their own. You know what I mean? So
I feel like
it continues. It's like
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
100%.
It's never to the day you die. But even still, I mean, even though you're in heaven and there's this grace and happiness upon you, you're still gonna be, you know, hey God, you know, just spill the tea on what's going on with, you know what I mean? Like there's still gonna be moments where you're worrying about your child, even though in the kingdom you guys are technically brother and sister. That's still family. Right. You still raised them. You still played a part in their journey. You know, and you know, molding that spirit in a sense. And so that guilt, that fear, because there is some sort of fear. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like, there's fear with being a mom. Like, these days and age, it's crazy. So there's guilt, there's fear, there's shame, there's doubt, there's all these things that you have to, that aren't going away, but you have to learn to kind of live with them in a sense, but learn where to put them. Right. Where, knowing when to shut them up when they pop up. And so I'm glad you brought that up because it does continue.
And this level of parenting, you go into a different space because now you have adults. You're working with another whole adult, but yet and still you're still a mom. So it's a very tricky and interesting place because you don't have autonomy over them. You don't have control. You can't send them to their room. You can't protect them. You can't protect them from themselves, which is who you're trying to protect them from, to be honest, at this point. Now you're trying to protect them from themselves. But you don't have that, but you still have that same heart as the newborn that was in your arms and the same concern, the same, you know, love. All of that, that level doesn't change because they're an adult. So now you have to learn how to be, you know, a guide to them in a different space where you can have conversations and love. Because I remember I told Jenna and Jordan, because, you know, I'm grown, whatever. I was like, okay, we were driving. I was like, okay, now that you're grown, I was like, I'm gonna let you be grown. And Jordan's like, yes. And Jenna's like, wait for it. And I was like, I don't pay for grown folks' mistakes, so I'm not paying for what you want to do. You grown, I'm gonna let you be grown. But what I'm not gonna do is pay for grown folks' mistakes. I'm not. Right. And so we have to be able to be like, okay, I can respect, because I can't go past what you want because it's your life. I can respect that. But now you have to respect that I too am in a different position than I was. I don't have to own what your life is now. Right. I can support you at the level that I'm ready to support you because that's my life and you have yours. So it is it's a different dynamic with the same level of emotional attachment, which is scary to kind of go. But I was thinking about how you were talking about the heavenly, and it was funny because, of course, it was you again.
It's always me.
It is. So your teenage years gave me so much, a different level of appreciation for God, because we're His children, and I'm like, wow. Every time she'd make me upset, I'm like, I would apologize to the Lord because I'd be so angry at her, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so bad. Like I earnestly would apologize to God because I'm like, wow, I'm your child and I didn't listen to you today either. My bad. So she taught.
I love when my mom's on the show.
But it gave me a different level of appreciation for God as our Father, and not just God. It gave me a different level of love and respect for Him, and how much He gives us forgiveness and grace and mercy in so many ways when we don't, because motherhood really teaches you how to be like God. It teaches you how to be like God, and we're not perfect at it because we're frustrated in it, but I think that He gets frustrated like, come on, y'all, I just gave you a door. It's a door, and we trying to climb out the window.
It's in your face.
Yeah, but it's right.
You're like, tell me, Lord, I told you.
It's right here, you know. So it makes me just love Him so much more because I like he's my dad. And I know what it's like to be a parent and go through all these emotions. And like, even when people are like, oh my gosh, this happened or that happened, how could God do that? And I remember a conversation that he and I had, and he's like, you don't think I grieve? And I was like, wow, Lord. Wow. And so if anybody's that close to knowing how much you love somebody and how hard it is to be around them, or take care of them sometimes, it's the Lord.
She said it's hard to.
I said, that's why she's not sitting as close this time.
I got five.
You see the distance?
It wasn't just this one. They all paid their dues.
You know, I just wanted to back up.
Wait, hold on real quick. You too quiet.
You better tell her.
You are too quiet.
Yes.
Go ahead, miss. I'm just
were
thinking, you were
trying.
thinking for 30, we in the second half of this
Second
podcast.
half.
Why don't you go and spill a little tea over there?
Come on.
I'm gonna have a cookie while you got some.
Yeah, go ahead
Okay,
now.
I'm getting
What's it like having
Wait,
twins?
no, wait, hold on, Nina.
No, I'm getting my
Oh, okay.
Does the
What's it?
cat got your tongue?
Yeah, what'd you say?
What's it like having twins?
What's it like having twins?
What's that like?
You know, y'all have multiple twins.
But no, we
Multiple
don't.
children.
No one ever carried two babies at the same time and
Birth
had to
them
like
at the
raise
same
them at the same
time,
time.
Oh,
raise them at the same time.
It's fun.
That's all I could.
It's
say.
extremely stretching from the moment that they push in you, and because
Oh my
everything
God,
else
like
stretches
that,
and
was it?
everything.
Oh,
This
that
is
is not
I was move on.
Bring on the
you,
watching.
you legitimately stretch from like vagina to stomach, and then your body stretches, and then they come out and they stretch that way too, and then.
But how do they stretch you?
My body went this way.
No, I mean like
that's
spiritually,
fair.
emotionally, mentally. You think it's like, she's like, weren't you listening?
Still on the drama.
There's a lot of stretching with twins.
Motherhood, from the moment you realize you're a mom, and then you start to go through like morning sickness, and you're realizing that you're like concerned, like, oh, is the baby, not even me, am I okay? Is the baby's getting what they need? And the doctor saying, oh, they're fine. It's you not getting anything. It goes back to the flamingo. They're parasites, guys. And all your energy goes into them. It was fun. It was great watching them grow and fight in the womb. That was pretty fun. They still do it now. It's great. Not that fun anymore. But it's from the moment twins are it's just different, because pregnancy is different. I kind of feel for you guys who have one single baby, because the attention I got, I don't know if you guys got, because as soon as you have multiple, you're high risk. Though, I mean, granted, you do need to be high risk because your body, you're carrying multiples. Mm-hmm. But the attention that I got and the detail I got, I don't know if you guys got it. Would I carry again and not be multiples? I probably wouldn't, because I don't know what to do with one baby. It's confusing because you have two hands and you have two babies to hold, and that part is amazing. Except for when you need a bottle, because then you have more hands.
You turn into an octopus.
Yeah.
God just gives you the Holy Spirit just comes behind you like, I got you, girl.
Yeah, but now you look crazy. Like
Put one on the other.
me trying to hold on, put on a bra backwards. It's crazy. But it's stretching in a way of you need to now, like your emotional capacity is different because you have two kids who are they're not identical. So now they're not going to feel this. Not that identical twins feel the same way, but they tend to do after a while, or at least
Go
the
in the same
moment.
direction.
Yeah, right. So now one's up, one's down, one's sleep. I don't care what they say. Put them on sleep schedules. Sleep schedules do not work for me. Twins. I tried as much as I could. My son's a night owl. My daughter goes to sleep. My daughter is a morning person, and my son will stay asleep as long as he can, which was great in that sense, because now you're opposite, but then you don't get the sleep that you need. It's stretching because you have, they're growing up, and then they're starting to live their own lives. And it gets even more stretching when they're no longer part of the same class. They're no longer with each other. They have different friends. One's a boy, one's a girl. So now we like different things. Birthday parties are not the same anymore. And then you're trying to find the same thing. They like different ways. They laugh. Things make them laugh. One thinks the song is funny, and the other one hates the song that they're singing. So now you're playing. You're like, well, and one's like, I'm setting boundaries. That was on the car rider today. I'm setting my boundaries. I was like, but you're being controlling. But I don't like the song. I was like, okay, don't sing it near your sister. Right.
I wonder if that's in identical twins,
Yeah.
twins versus fraternal twins.
Yeah.
Because I see more connection with identical versus fraternal.
Sometimes.
Like you said, they're own path.
They do.
Yeah.
It's fun to see because then they came like this morning. It was fun because they're making each other laugh, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's how you guys used to play when you were younger.
Right.
But now you have not yourself thinking of like emotionally myself and trying to heal yourself, because once you get pregnant at a certain age, even younger, you're that person until you grow. You have to recognize like you're growing kids. Should I grow
There's a
myself
dog.
eventually? Oh, that's Lola.
Oh.
She's like, don't want to be alarmed to anybody, but
Calm down.
It's a dog here.
whose dog is this?
You're that person for a
Yeah.
while until you realize, okay, they're old enough to hold and sustain life on their own. Okay, but you have a husband or a boyfriend, so you have to sustain them, and then you have to come back and be like, oh crap, Janelle, you're still 21,
Right.
but you're 32, so now you have to like fast forward, and all the things that you put held on it got piled up in the corner somewhere. How is it seeping out in other ways? And now you have to you have to come back and catch her up, but then also maintain your family as
That's
well.
deep. That's
Yeah.
deep. So that's like what you were saying.
I know.
What you were saying,
She was
like
trying-
find yourself.
That's
Like
a
you've
lot.
left that
Maybe
person.
she really
You've
was
had that
thinking.
baby.
Yeah,
That's deep.
Any
Wow.
trauma, you're that person in that area, as if it not that childbirth is trauma, but it's trauma to the body, guys. You bleed.
It
a
is
good
trauma.
6 weeks after. You're
It
not
is.
done being pregnant until you're done bleeding. Let's just put it. Let's put that there. But
No,
also,
it takes a year.
it
for
takes
your,
a year.
more.
I heard
It
that
can't
takes a
even
while
get
after
down
surgery.
to
C-section takes
Yes.
more.
I heard they give you the what's it called? C-section, yes, because my stitches still hurt when
it takes a
my
long
son
time.
jumps on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I still feel it, and my kids are grown.
Yeah,
They don't
yes.
respect
Is
C-sections.
never-
Like you're more like
No.
this. Like they come near you, you're like, oh, watch out.
Yeah.
You're protecting that.
They don't
Mhm.
respect the fact that C-sections are one of the most traumatic
It is.
surgeries to your
It
body.
is because they
And
don't even
They
care
move
how they're
so
cut. You're
so
open.
many not just that, they move so many organs around.
Yeah.
They go through so many layers of your body, and it's ridiculous that they release you from the hospital in a couple of days and then say, oh, don't do this, don't do that, but you just sent me home with a newborn by myself and told me don't pick up nothing, but this joker weighs more than what you
Again,
said.
Right.
thank you for your son.
So it's like what a woman goes through to become a mother, whether you have them vaginally or you have a C-section, what our bodies do is, first of all, a miracle. Second of all, I'm sorry, I don't know no man who's trying to have a baby. That's a whole other subject. Because they know
Push it through his
good and
penis.
well that they don't want to go
Make it
through what
go.
the emotion, the
Make it
medical, the
dilate.
chemical. Our bodies are transformative. We're literally creating an entire human being. But it takes every part of our
Every-
body to do it. Our hair changes,
And
our
I
nail
had no
changes.
medication.
It's just-
Me neither, girl.
I just
Me
want to
neither,
throw
girl.
that out there.
No medicine.
I wanna switch gears just a little bit because
Go ahead.
I am who I am. How was
I'm excited.
I should be excited.
I know it is now.
How was now that we got all that
Okay.
serious sentimental crap all the way?
Okay.
Not crap, but
We still
But
have
no,
to
but
have some
seriously.
fun while our kids are being watched.
exactly. Yeah, let's have fun while we can, guys.
Okay.
So how was it? And seriously, I mean, you can be raunchy if you want to, but you could be serious if you want to too. But we're talking about our bodies changing. We're
Yeah.
talking about our spirits changing, our mindsets changing. So how was it for you to feel sexy or perform sexually after having your baby? Yeah,
I'm gonna stop by saying I'll say something after we're on this, but not.
Oh, it's okay.
No.
I don't think. For me, well, first of all, I was younger, so I don't even think I was sexy at the time. I didn't know how to be sexy, so whatever. I didn't know what that was. So, but it was intimidating. It was very intimidating. Because when you have a baby, all you can think about is now my body has changed, all of it, right? Like I was a teenage mom, so I didn't even, my girls were a size D when I was 12, but at 20 something, I was like, oh my gosh, I never even got to have good girls before I, know what good girls were like, because I had a baby as a teenager, so they started moving as a teenager, and I was like, that's different.
Yeah.
I had stretch marks. kid you not, I know exactly where my stretch marks are. I was in a club one time, and every time my pants moved, I would tug on them because I knew exactly where the line of my stretch marks stopped. So I knew exactly where my pants could stop, right? And some girl randomly, I'm in the bathroom, and she was like, "You look so nice tonight. Can you stop touching your, like, can you stop pulling your pants? You're fine." And I'm like, oh my God, that's how bad it was.
Stretch marks is crazy because stretch marks are actually in.
They're in now. Everything
they're in now.
Yeah, they're in now. But isn't that so? I know, but isn't that so crazy? Like that's what is it? Like a sexy tiger or something like that. Like
Tiger
they're in now, and I'm like, good because I got a lot of them, honey.
Yeah. But I felt yeah. By the time Dad and I started dating, and I think I was more intimidated with him than I was prior because that person doesn't know how to talk. So anyway, so I was so very insecure and very I was very insecure and very broken about my girl.
Yeah.
Because I had already had children, and I was afraid that
He
because
disrespected
he ain't got no damn home training.
He could eat sand for that, and he might.
But so I was very insecure. I think it took me. Wow, it took me a lot. I would say probably in my 30s is when I really started to heal that part of me.
He
and
said
not
that
have
to
that
you.
in
He
the
said
back.
something disrespectful to
You
you.
did.
Oh my God. We talking about like the donor?
The donor.
Oh my God. I'm so upset right now. So upset right now. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
I feel like that shouldn't even be a thing because when you think about it, like
oh my God,
your body and your whatever you call her down there has gone through so much, and it's gonna take some time. Like your body collectively. Janelle's ad-libs. Janelle's very upset, guys.
Hey, your mom is okay with it now.
I know she's upset. Someone give her a little more wine or what you drinking? You want a wine?
I'm just so mad right now.
I know, I feel you, but like
No, not mine.
that should be something completely like off the table.
No, not Drew. Drew's not the one she's mad at. No, it wasn't him. Well, I think that.
She's like, I'm just looking out for you.
Yeah, she was like,
We not that. We good. No, and on the opposite, I eventually had a conversation with Drew when we were, years ago, and I shared with him that I think we were younger, and probably 21, when we were in our 20s, and I shared with him what was said, and he was like, absolutely not, that's crazy, whatever. And so he was able to affirm me, but it took me longer to heal that and affirm me, because I'm like, oh, he's just kind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't that just stuck with me. So it took me longer to heal there. Yeah. But, he and I had that.
Look at your vagina daily and tell her how pretty she is.
You're supposed to look at it. It's your yoni or something like that. You're supposed to look at it, and talk to it and say, "Oh, we should do that." I mean, everybody
not together.
No, but like not
Spiritual thing.
Not like we're all see ourselves. You're dividers.
We'll have dividers.
And it's
I can see it now. Hey, friend, tell her she's good.
When I went to my last appointment, I have the same doctor ever since my kids. My doctor's down there. She's like, wow. No, her exact words were interesting.
Oh, what's that?
When I was having it done, my exam. To me, and it failed for me to ask her why she said that. But then when I went back for mine, she was like, nothing's changed. And I think because you have the C-sections, nothing's interrupted down there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So nothing's interrupted.
Don't raise your hand.
I have something to say.
She's so happy with us right now. She's like,
I think that God really made women to have kids, because I had my daughter vaginally, and honestly, I can say I had a beautiful labor where I slept the whole day, and when it was time to go, the baby's head was ready. It was time to go. It took like 15 minutes. She was out. I did hemorrhage, but body-wise, it was back to normal. Like,
yeah, I think
I feel like it was back and better actually for a little bit, because I took anyways, but no, I feel like honestly our bodies are miraculous, and the things that we can do and the way that we bounce back and how strong we are, we have to take accountability for that.
And
'Cause you
appreciate
could-
ourselves.
And
Yeah.
and appreciate ourselves.